All right. Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about you deserve a valiant life. I wrote it down. You deserve a valiant life. And that's a life of courage. But of courage for what? To what end? If I courageously go towards filling my stomach with popcorn, then what did I achieve by doing that? I was reading this book from the 1400s by this mystic saint, Saint John of the Cross, and I welcome all religions, right? So because we're all meant to be valiant for the highest thing. This is what I was gonna share with you guys. I have this quote. He says, he wrote in the 1400s, right? This is from a book called The Ascent of Mount Carmel. He said, an attachment to a creature makes a person equal to that creature. The stronger the attachment, the closer is the likeness. And I have an ellipsis. For love affects a likeness between the lover, and the loved. And so, what he's saying, let me translate what he's saying, right? I mean, he wrote in Spanish, but then they translated it in English, but let me translate it into our modern day life, right? I'm a psychologist for the past 20 plus years. My name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer. Welcome to wherever you're watching this. Follow me on YouTube. I invite you, because if any of my videos go over 14 minutes, then they're over there. All right, so let's understand this, how you deserve to a valiant life. You deserve a valiant life, a life of courage. But courage for what? So he's saying, whatever you're following after, right? Whatever my end goal is, my telos, my end goal is, I'm bowing to that. I will become like that thing. And so if my whole life is about, cats, and I have no higher goal than cats, then, or my belly being full, my appetites, my flesh, my being famous or getting riches or whatever. He says here, there's another quote with that. It says, in some ways, we're even lower than that thing that we're putting up here, because love not only equates, but even subjects the lover to the loved creature. So you're underneath that. So if my belly, if my bank account, if my being famous or well known or whatever, if that is up here, then I am bowing down to that. Now this idea came to me of what to teach us today, what to go over, what to contemplate. I say us because I learn as this is coming through me, because it's important to face the world with openness and with curiosity, and not thinking that you do know everything. And I study this day and night, all the time. But regardless of that, let's see what we're going to learn, right? What I was getting yesterday, I was doing a meditation and I got this insight. I was like, whoa, all right, okay. So what we do as people in this life, right, is sometimes if we had negative experiences in our childhood, in our past. So I draw those like X, negative signs, lightning bolts, negative signs, right? Let's say we had these negative experiences, and we had some positive experiences too, right, in our past. So this is our past. And here is our present, right? But what we do in our present, instead of seeing it like this, or seeing that it can be positive and beautiful things can happen, and we can be courageous and valiant and go into this knowing that divine love, God, is on our side, and wants us to be brave towards the highest things, towards the highest love. Instead of doing that, we make negative predictions. All right, I'll write this down. We make negative predictions about an unknown future. All right. I'm hearing them in my own mind right now. It's like, I don't even want to repeat, but I'll be transparent for you guys. It's like, oh, this video is dumb, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to say what you wanted to say. Like, all of those things are coming there. So I'm not exempt from this, even though I practice making videos. I've made over 700 videos, you know, and I've been studying and doing psychology for 30 years. Those still can come in from my childhood. They're just there, and it's like learning how, you know, I don't watch regular news, let's say. I don't watch hardly any news or any TV except for anyway, I won't go into that. But and so it's like learning how to have a life that's so much more quiet, that's not pulled here and there by all of that stuff. I was watching my own thoughts and being like, I don't have to give weight to my own thoughts. Eckhart totally says that, the guy that wrote The Power of Now. He says, you don't have to believe your own thoughts, you know. They're just thoughts. Your brain is used to tuning into a certain frequency that you got from childhood, okay? So we had these negative experiences, then we go into this new present, and instead of it being blank like this, you know, or positive, we put all these negatives. We predict negative things will happen. And if we keep saying, I watched this in a video yesterday and it was very interesting. I didn't get to contemplate it more, but it was, if we keep saying, I'm not safe, then this person was like, then you'll keep getting experiences that reflect that back to you, that say you're not safe. Or, you know, I'm always rejected. Well, then you'll attract to yourself, you know, people and situations that will say, see, you're always rejected, you know. And so I could go on and on about how one person ghosted me or whatever, but it was like, I didn't want to activate that again. I don't want to activate that whole memory or any of that. It was just a repetition of feeling not known and not loved and not valued in childhood. And so if I kept believing, part of me believed something different, because divine love, you know, Christ shows up and gives us something different. You know, I made a video on this. You can look at that, the promises of Christ, right? Christ offers us, I redeem you, I love you. I went into Hades and took the people out of there and brought them and conquered death, and I give you salvation and all of these things, you know, restoration, freedom from the things that you ran to before that you thought were going to fill you, because you kept predicting negative. So you kept going to things that would numb you because this felt uncomfortable, right? And so instead of dwelling on that and knowing that and living within that and activating my faith to know that, it was like something presented itself in this world to me to say, are you going to trust in this, me plus you, right? In this love. It's this love that was here from all eternity that's been offered you? Or are you going to look back on what your parents chose to do in childhood in their unconsciousness, or some other person chose to do in his unconsciousness, to say you're not worth knowing or loving? Like, which one are you going to take hold of? Now, this is what I was getting yesterday that I wanted to share with us, that I put in a 1-minute video yesterday. It's your life in 1 minute. Oh, your divine nature. That's what I called it, right? Because when we're used to being in egotism and lack and our childhood programming of saying, oh, they're going to take from me, they used me, they stepped on me, they treated me like an object or whatever. When we keep activating that in our present, instead of having this blank, let's draw the blank one again, right? I'm even filling in the blank one, right? With hearts, and these are either crosses or positives, or die to yourself, die to your old self. This is why we're invited to do that, all right? Okay, so taking part in your divine nature, and I'll get into the whole die to yourself. All right, so if we kept thinking people are going to use us and they're always going to hurt us, and we keep thinking divine love is that same way, and we don't trust, why is God saying to us to love our enemies and to pray for those who persecute you and to forgive people and to not hold this debt, give the debt to God, to divine love, and say, hey, here's what they owed me. Can you give me that love? I trust that you're going to give me that love. Because if I keep going back to them, that's what resentment is to resend. I keep resending them the bill, and I'm waiting for scraps from these people instead of looking up. Look up, keep looking up. Look, it was 11:11 when I said that, right? And that's alignment with God, the oneness, right? And so what I was getting, this is so cool, right? And that's why I want to share it with you guys, is that if what St. John of the Cross was finding from his whole life study, and life, giving his life to divine love, emptying himself as much as he could, if we keep running after like a material thing, right? Like, let's say money is our idol. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money itself. But if I have money, this paper thing, oh, this is the Stations of the Cross. So this is awesome to put up here, right? But even if I'm just worshiping this paper, right? If I'm worshiping money, then I'm bowing down to something that is less than me, right? But if I'm bowing down to divine love, and I want to aspire to be like divine love, which is perfect, which is what Christ achieved. He rose from the dead because he was perfect, subjected himself to even death, and that he conquered death shows the honor and integrity and alignment that he lived his life in. But I don't have to explain all the theology, right? Let's go back to keeping this basic, is understand that if I'm putting this other thing as an idol, then I'm putting myself lower than paper, right? Than paper that I think is going to make me feel important. And so it's an illusion. It's an illusion that it will. But we think the other way. We think, well, God's not tangible. I can't hold God, and to be present with God, he invites us. God is beyond he and she, but let's just say he invites us to be still and see that I'm God. Know that I am the I am, that I amness, that I will love you, that God is love. That's in 1 John. It's like, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loves is born of God and knows God. When you love not, you know not God, because God is love. So you don't know the divine nature because you're not participating in it by knowing a deeper love. This isn't a love, like a temporary thing. Like, I'm just going to say I love you right now because you're making me feel good. That's not love. That's not real love. That's egoism, egotistic love. And that's why it keeps falling apart, right? And so we think, what if we go into this blankness, right? What if God's not there? What if it's just, we make these negative predictions from our past? What if God is here? And what if every time we act in agape love, in divine love, we're actually activating this faith in us and learning how to have a true valiant life, learning how to walk on a higher path, learning how to live in a higher standard. All right, wish you much love.